Okay, tell me what is the minimum you expect. What's the minimum expectations for you to still back Enzo? Like, to say if he gets, what's that?
You're back.
Yeah, no. What's the minimum expectations for you for Enzo for you to still back him? Like, if he finishes 6th, like, is it he's got to get at least Europa League? Has he got to win a trophy? Like, what has he got to do?
I've already told you. For me, the expectation I've got for him is to get top 4, and to win the Conference League definitely. And
so if he don't, you're Enzo out.
To compete, no, it's not. It doesn't work like that, Lawless.
Yeah, but what makes you Enzo out?
If I can clearly see that we're improving, right, in terms of the style of play, there's something sustainable to build from. He's improving players. Of course, I'm going to back him, right? The reason why most Man United fans want Ten Hag out, and for example, I wanted Poch out, is because I was picking up results, but the performances, they weren't giving me any confidence. I couldn't go into any games predicting W's, bro, right? Because I just didn't know what Chelsea I would see. And it's the same thing as these United fans, right? And that's why most of them want Ten Hag out. So if I'm seeing, gradual improvement, I'm seeing a lot of improvement, I'm seeing something sustainable, I'm not gonna start saying get him out. Obviously, if we finish like 10th, 15th and that, then different conversation. But bro, I expect us to be in and around the top 4 for sure.
Well, we'll see. Noted. Duly noted.
On your question that you put out earlier, Laws, around who do I see winning it? Look, Ches asked a similar sort of question in the group chat earlier about are Chelsea still declining? And the answer is no. I think they have got a little bit better so far this season. I also look at them, and this isn't a dig at West Ham, but they should be beating you. They have spent more money. They have a better squad. I wouldn't say right now they have a better manager. We don't know enough about Modeska to say, but they should be winning this game. And that for me is, it's not. I'm not trying to take any pressure off West Ham because they're at home, but Chelsea, unless they're away from home against Liverpool, Man City, or Arsenal at this particular stage, they should be seen as close to favourites in every single one of those games. They just should be. So Chelsea should be winning this football match. No problem, but they should be winning this football match. And they should be doing it in a way that is relatively comfortable. It shouldn't be a game where... it shouldn't be. With what they've spent, the manager they've got, and the way a lot of their fans praise their players... When I say relatively convincing, I'm talking about they walk away 2-0, they've had to work hard, but they weren't really in any danger. If they're winning the game, but bloody hell, how did West Ham not win that? They were so good, they were battering them. That still isn't good enough for the progression of the team. And I have the same energy for my club. West Ham have the players to beat them if they turn up on their day. But again, I haven't been that impressed with you boys so far this year. I get your point, they're giving your manager time. I looked at your summer, and you were one of those clubs that kind of won the window. But so far, I've watched you play this season, and it just looks really slow and drab.
It looks shit, Terry, just be real. It looks shit.
I mean, yeah, you can say that. I'm just slow and drab. So yeah, if I'm predicting an outcome of this game, I'm going 3-1 Chelsea in this match.
Let me ask something real quick to Lawless. Is this a big game in London?
Yeah, I mean,
in London, West Ham Chelsea is always a big game, bro. In London,
yeah,
always.
Okay. The only reason I'm asking is the only reason I'm asking is because like Don was going to West Ham parade, so I don't know how big that rivalry was.
Just to break the rivalry down, so West Ham and Chelsea's firms back in the day when they were proper, they were two of the most dangerous, and some rivalries.
ICF and the Headhunters, yeah.
So quite a lot of the rivalries in England actually stem from the firms of clubs having big rivalries with one another. Like West Ham and Man United, their firms had a big rivalry, and there is a little bit of needle between the two football clubs, but a lot of that stems from the kind of the hooliganism off the pitch as well. But yeah, West Ham Chelsea is a big game in England.
I'm just saying.
I remember when I used to go to the games when Lampard was about Duffy. When Lampard was about, bro, he used to get crazy abuse because he was at West Ham, innit?
Yeah.
What you don't realize, Staffy, is Don lives in East London. He lives in West Ham territory.
He's close to us.
Yeah, I literally, bro, I've got so many friends that are West Ham fans, bro. Honestly, everywhere.
Yeah. That's the reason I want to know that.
This sellout decided to support a West London team from his home in East London.
Terrible.
Disgraceful.
Could never be me.
You know what I mean? Like,
I was out here supporting you lot when you was in the fucking championship, bro. You should thank me. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's like living in
I reckon Don grew up a West Ham fan, but switched to Chelsea when the success came. That's my prediction.
Yeah. Never. I didn't even know what West Ham was.
I have.
How do you not know what West Ham was? And you live in East London.
Of course I did. I'm joking about. But yeah, never, bro. Never. You know, listen. West Ham have always growing up. West Ham was just always that team. You go up and down. You just you're down there. Like you're nowhere near me. So there's nothing to worry about. It's like Spurs, bro. You've been so far from me. There's just nothing to really worry about with you, man. You know what I'm saying?
So my age group is different with West Ham because Man United and West Ham had a rivalry. My two of my grandparents are West Ham fans, and they were just always a football team that played decent football. You know, no one liked going to their away ground, especially as fans, as an example. And yeah,
chicken run, bruv. Jesus,
I used to love when we played in Upton Park.
Going to Upton Park was just it was an amazing experience. I was very lucky. I used to work at the Barclays and help run the Barclays that was right by it. But it's literally in the middle of everybody's housing and the street. It's what I call like an old school football stadium. Anfield similar. I mean, Old Trafford's changed a bit now, but it's right by people's houses as well. Like, I love a football ground that's in amongst where people live.
The actual community.
Exactly.
Now when you walk past it now, it's literally just flats, bro. Just all new flats.
Gone.
That's
it. I mean, West Ham's new stadium. It's on the Olympic Park. It's very nice. It's very good, but it's. I just like the traditions of football stadiums literally being in the middle of where people live, as opposed to.
That's why there's a little bit of a, you know, when we spoke about the whole bridge, like moving from the bridge to a new stadium. That's where obviously like you have to look at the other side of it. Like I like the bridge because it's like a classic tight small pitch, like Selhurst Park. Like Upton Park and that.
Yeah,
if we move, we're gonna lose a bit of that because we haven't really got atmosphere as it is, Terry. We're gonna lose that. You know what I'm saying?
Imagine like we've got a 66,000 seater stadium and you're knocking about in what 35,000 seater, 38,000.
You see why we need to move? Bro.
Yeah,
that's what I mean. Crazy. Man United's training ground's bigger than that.
It's 43k. No, it's not 35,000. Our stadium holds about
43k. Is it
43,000? It's shit, bro. It's shit. Yeah, but. We need to move. That's what I'm saying. We need to move.
You heard it here on the terrace first. Chelsea fan Don says Stamford Bridge is shit.
No. I didn't say Stamford Bridge is shit. I said the size of it is shit. Of course it is. We need to upgrade.
You better watch out. You get them out of context clips.
Don said there's no atmosphere. And the size of Stamford Bridge is shit. I'm taking that as Stamford Bridge.
Atmosphere.
The atmosphere at the bridge is bad, man. It's bad at times. Honestly. Away games are better.
What's your favorite Chelsea songs?
My favorite Chelsea songs. Ooh.
Chelsea.
Probably nah. John Terry has won the double. And the shit
never heard that one.
Fuck all again. And John Terry has won the double. You know what I'm saying? I like that one.
I didn't know that.
It's not just
Chelsea.
Just hard songs, bro. Going to away grounds, going away games is always my favorite. It was always hard to not Man United away fans, and I think you guys, Lawless has definitely come across them. Don's probably seen them at Man United away fans are very, very noisy and don't stop singing.
Yeah.
So whenever I went to a lot of away grounds, I didn't notice there was a bad atmosphere from, say, the home fans because I was in amongst 5,000 to 10,000 United fans that literally don't sit down and don't stop singing for the entire game. I always quite enjoyed the trips to Stamford Bridge that we had. One of my best experiences ever was there. It was in the 3-3 in the league. And we were 1-0 down at half time. What season was that? Oh my God, you're probably looking at 2011-12, maybe 2012-13. No, it wasn't that season. I think it was 2011-12.
Oh, when you fucking brought on Hernandez off the bench.
Yeah. So we're 1-0 down at half time, and we all went down to get a beer. And I got talking to a couple of United fans, and we heard a cheer. We were like, the game back on. We rushed upstairs, and everyone, it's 2-0. We were like, this is shit. Before I'd even got back to my seat, it was 3-0. They scored 2 quick goals, started the second half. And you look at each other going, we might as well just sing, and then we go out and get drunk afterwards. We ended up coming back, and very late on, we scored. Chicharito got a header, and he scored. And someone freezing that day, it'd been snowing. Someone grabbed my woolly hat and threw it. And I didn't care. It went over the front. I was like, I didn't care. We won. And then we all calmed down, started singing again. And then this was just my favorite experience at Stamford Bridge. My hat just flew back up. and it landed quite close to me. I got my hat back, so I was buzzing. It was a great day. I just see my hat. I was like, that's my hat. Yeah, it was great. I love
the bridge. You know what? The bridge, the bridge, like
amazing
Stanford, on Champions League nights, it is very good. To be fair, you know, when you have like late fixtures in there as well, it's very good. Like I remember when we played you lot last year, Terry, when we beat you 4-3, that it was popping off at the bridge, bro. When we played Man City at the bridge, it was popping off. When we played Arsenal at the bridge, it was popping off. So you do get it here and there, innit? But overall, many teams face this. Even the Emirates, bro. Yeah, the Emirates. I know they've got black t-shirts and drums now, like I keep telling you guys. But overall, the atmosphere is still not all that. Like there's not that many grounds that have a lit atmosphere every single week.
Yeah, I feel that success creates that. It's almost, and quality football. It's almost. I when I first started going to Old Trafford, when I moved to Manchester in like 2004, I went a few times as a younger man, but obviously being a kid and living in London, it was very hard to get to Manchester regularly. I went to quite a few away games. But when I started going regularly, I was up for it and I was great. But I was sitting on the opposite side, the north stand, opposite the Stretford end. And there's a lot of family there and a lot of like older people. And the atmosphere, I wanted to sing and shout and I couldn't get there. It took me years to get a season ticket in the Stretford end. Mm-hmm. And when I moved to the Stretford end, it was amazing. My little brother, who's an Orient fan, always used to go, Old Trafford, rubbish atmosphere. One day, my mate was meant to come with me, pulled out. And I said, look, brother, I've got my spare season ticket. Do you want to come with me? He jumped in the motor. We went up and watched it. And I remember looking at his face. He was only about 16 at the time. And he was like sitting in Stretford End. He goes, he was touching the railings. And he goes, oh my God, they're vibrating through the noise. Everyone jumping around and singing. I said, yeah, it's not like it sounds on TV. But because the stadium's so big, it really does depend on whereabouts in the stadium that you're sitting. So if you sit in the Stretford End and people go, oh, it's a terrible atmosphere there today, you'll look at everyone and go, you're mad. It was amazing. Yeah. You go down the opposite end and you could hear it. And that's why they created the scene section. So so there was a big bit on the north, the sort of that end by the scoreboard and the Stretford end. And then that way, both ends making noise. But it is difficult.
Yeah, that's similar. Like
you're never going to get, you're never going to get 75,000 Man United fans who sing like the away fans do. If we did, it'd be hard to lose a game if you actually had 75,000 people with that much noise. But yeah, it's very difficult.
At the bridge, you're right when you say that, because at the bridge, it's usually like the Matthew Harding stand that tends to be quite loud and that. But away games, bro, I love going away games, man. They're the best, honestly. But away games, we don't stop singing, man. We don't stop singing. I remember I went to Anfield away, right? Let me tell you something about Anfield as well. That place is a fucking myth, yeah, when it comes to their noise and that. Yeah. Most of the time, they were just sitting down, and the only time they stood up to make any noise was when they were seeing counterattacks, right? We outsang them guys. I remember that was Mudrik's debut, in fact. Yeah, I was like, because I always hear like, oh yeah, Anfield's overrated, and I'm like, okay, cool, let me go see for myself. I actually saw it for myself, Terry. It's a bit quiet over there, man. I can't lie.
No, look, Anfield on certain nights is amazing. I think as a United fan, I've always been a bit bitter when I hear the media always, oh, it's the best atmosphere. Again, I've only been there for Man United Liverpool games, so the atmosphere is amazing. Yeah. But then I've sort of watched through the television and seen that you can hear a pin drop in other games, and I think, well, the one ground in England that I've never seen not rocking, either on TV or in person, is Stoke City. That place was mental every single game. And then, again, it died off a little bit towards the end of Mike Ashley's time, but Newcastle Stadium, that is always. But what helps Newcastle, I don't know what the rulings are on this, but it's the only stadium in England where the away fans are stuck in the rooftop, and it makes it so you basically everything around the pitch. All you hear is Geordies when they're in a good mood, because the away fans are so high up, and they do that in a lot of the Spanish grounds I've been to. United did it a few times where we stuck the away fans right up high behind us, and again, as a United fan, I preferred it because you couldn't hear anybody then. But I think having the away fans close to the pitch, I think that makes the atmosphere.
To be honest,